What do you wish someone had told you about dating, like in your 40s and 50s back then?
You know, you think that when you're ready to settle down, that there's always going to be a lot of supply on the shelves,
Mm.
and it's not. Like at this age, a lot of the good guys are married
Mm.
or taken because they're good guys. And I was having a conversation with a girlfriend of mine the other day, and I'm like, well, your best bet now is maybe someone that a good man that maybe is coming out of a marriage, getting a divorce. So, I think in our youth, and I would like people to know this when they're younger, we think, oh, there's always going to be an endless supply.
Mm-hmm.
I can wait till tomorrow. Don't put off your happiness waiting. If you find that good person, like a lot of times we wait, well, it's not the right time. It's never going to be like the right time.
Mm-hmm.
I would say go for it more. I wish I would have someone told me just go for it. I probably have overlooked a good candidate before, like maybe
Why is that though?
me thinking the timing thing, maybe prioritizing career. I definitely was always like work, 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 work. I never thought I had the enough cushion built up to like relax and take my foot off the gas and start a family.
And then that just go on and on and
Yeah.
on, and then you be 100 years old, now you like, it's
Damn
still
it.
working.
Still working. And I think I will say specifically with Black women, especially, I feel like we don't really have the luxury to think that we can kind of take time off like that. And I specifically say Black women because like we're usually the backbone of everything. Not even just with our families, but with our friend circles. Like it's always something for us to do. We're always taking care of somebody else. I don't have children, but I'm always like feeding a friend or taking care of someone or helping somebody out or doing a favor. And I think that's a cape that we put on ourselves. No one told us to do this. It's just something in us that we do. And if you think about the Black woman in your life, you probably think, "Damn, she's like a superwoman for everybody else. When does she slow down for herself?" I think with Black women specifically, it's harder for us to ever feel like we can just kind of take a break. We have to be like all gas, no brakes. I don't think we have the luxury of feeling like, okay, I can take a breather now and relax. And I think it's really sad. There's all these statistics about 45%, 65% of Black women will never get married, and we're out here taking care of everybody else and not getting taken care of. And I think it's really sad. I think we self-impose this cape on ourselves to save the world. Look at all the marches. Look at all, I know this is dating, but I got to bring it into like the political space. We're always at the front lines for everybody else. For everybody. Brother gets killed, we're in the front lines. The LGBTQ community, we're in the front lines. Other women that are not even showing that up as our allies, we're in the front lines. Gaza, front line. We're always there for everybody else. And on top of all the stuff in our personal lives, we out here trying to save the world. When does that leave time to like really feel comfortable? When does that really leave time to like relax or even just like put yourself first or dating? And I just feel like a lot of women get caught up in saving the world and then they leave little time for themselves.
Night Vision again. Let's talk about Claudia Jordan, man. This is one of the videos I wish I would have got to a little bit earlier. So Claudia Jordan, she was, I don't really understand. I heard she's mixed, so I don't know much about her. See, they said she was a track star. She's very successful. She was like Miss Rhode Island, very beautiful woman, right? My thing is this: what is the obsession with and hit the link in the description, join the Patreon, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. What's the obsession with Black women and Zestmeisters and Backdooria rainbow dudes and sitting down and talking to them? What's the obsession there with that? You know what I'm saying? Like they always talking to them, but then again, when they come to dissing Black men, when a Black man be like, "Oh, I'm good on you," or "I got," they always got to say, "You gay? Are you gay?" They use that, like they obsession with the Read and Rainbow community is crazy because they use it as a slander. Or when they beefing, remember they was beefing when that one, Backdooria dude was saying, that transmission was saying that Black women steal their beauty standards from, transmissions. Remember he was saying that, and they was beefing with them. They was beefing with Mexican women when that last year built like a Mexican, beefing with everybody, but she on there, basically saying that she missed the boat. Or a lot of the Kevin Samuel talking points that Kendra G now using, now Claudia Jordan saying basically, I thought I had more time. I thought I had more options. I thought I always can do better. And the brother, I think his name is BG Ibmore. I don't want to disrespect. He got a couple channels. I really like his content. And he basically was saying that it's a pretty girl problem, which they always think they can do better. And that used to be exclusively to Claudia Jordan, post this era, right? Or pre this era, excuse me. That was pretty girl problem, right? I always got a chance. You look at Beyonce mama getting divorced and probably her in 70s or whatever she was to Richard Lawson. You know what I'm saying? You talk to women, they always just think, they got an opportunity to she 50, 60. Oh, y'all still can get it. Like, bitch, it's over with. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you be listening to the delusion that they speak about, and you 50, 60, 40 years old still talking about you got it. It's over with. Dudes will have fun with you and play with the buns, but other than that, you ain't about to get no real serious man about to take you serious. You just for practice. You know what I'm saying? You like Madden practice. You know what I mean? So so she, basically now, every woman feel like they got options. Every woman feel like, even if they got a good dude, or I can do better. You got women who are straight up ugly for straight up ones thinking they can do better. You got women who 35, 40 who think they can do better. You got women in their 60s that can think you do better. You got women that's 300 pounds that think they can do better. You got every woman feel like now they feel like they was like a Claudia Jordan pretty girl or Stacey Dash that feel like, okay, I can do. Every woman feels like they have that pretty privilege with social media, but she missed the boat. Talking about her career and my career was more important. At the end of the day, your purpose ain't to work on this planet. You know what I'm saying? Your purpose ain't to work on this planet as a woman. Your purpose is to, multiply, nourish, love, and, basically, hold the family together. That's your thing. You don't have to work. But y'all wanted to fight for the work, and she was like, my career was so much more important. And where do you get? You're on a fucking podcast. Like, I don't even know what she technically do, but what fulfillment did you get? That's what I want to know. What fulfillment did you get from your career? That if you would have had children and built a legacy with a man, what career memories can add up to that? That's the question. What career memories can add up to that? And men know, yeah, guess what? You was just a good time. I could shoot the club up in Claudia Jordan in the 1900s like she joked, and I ain't got to worry about having no baby by her. And you get that from a lot of professional women. When you deal with professional women, you can have the time of your life with them. Especially especially before they hit 40 or that 37, 35 range, right around there, and then now that they got their career, and it's usually unfulfilled. They're really not the boss of nothing, right? They're really not important. They're not Bezos. They're not really nothing. If they're a partner, they're not the partner. It's really nothing of true magnitude, right? You know what I'm saying? And I know a couple boss chicks that had their children, and they still did their thing. You know what I'm saying? But it's really never as fulfilling as the family, even for men. It's fulfilling to have a legacy and have a family, and it's fulfilling. You're pouring into something, But you got to ask yourself, what did she really accomplish? She still looks good, no doubt about it. But other than that, now she's talking about she want a man. What man is gonna take Claudia Jordan serious? Even niggas in their 70s and 80s, they going for chicks 30s and 20s. It's a wrap. Then you talking about the mentality that you got to put up with that. And that's the number one thing about dealing with boss babes. They pay for penis. They pay for penis. Because even if they get a decent dude or a dude that's on their level or a decent dude, they mentality scare them away. Don't no dude really, gonna see a woman with all this education, this beauty, her health is good, and you not want to marry her. If that make any type of sense. You want to marry that type of woman. So when it's not happening, you know what I'm saying? And she marking all the boxes off, and she talking about her career and her mentality is a bit off, right? The mentality is off. You just move on. Okay, I got the pussy, I'm done. Because that pretend alpha mentality, that it's a turnoff. It's a turnoff. Because one thing when you're dealing with women like Claudia or Jordan, they always want to tell you what they won't put up with. Right? Oh, if you do this and you do that to me, I'm leaving. They always quick to move on to the next dude. In reality, obviously, if you put that onyx on her, that slam done it, she gonna deal with it. But when you deal with those type of women who had an education, who are articulate, who they hygiene is up to par, their education, they speak well, they nice, they beautiful. You be like, oh, this the one I want. But then when you start digging the layers, you start talking to them, you see the alpha boss bitch mentality, that fake alpha boss bitch mentality, it's just an instant turn off. Because you like, damn, I don't want to, her, she don't make a good hoe. Other than if she paying, she really don't make good practice or a good hoe. Because she have all these amazing qualities about her, but it's her mouth is a turn off. Her intentions is a turn off. Oh, I want to do this down the road or not right now. And it's like, okay, if not in your 20s, when? Like when your 30s, you wash for the most part, damn near. So you move on. You like, all right, cool. And then she looking, he move on, he happy. But I look better than her. And women put everything in looks, but if they check their attitude, it'd be different. So that's why a lot of them professional bitches don't, they ain't trying to get married. They just good practice. When you start talking about professional women, when you start talking about professional women, you know what I'm saying? When you start talking about them, when you start talking about professional women, you know what I mean? And, dealing with them, the number one thing you end up figuring out is that it's the attitude. So you're not going to stick around long, because it's not going nowhere. And then when you dealing with hoes, why niggas like hanging with hoes is so cool, because they cool. They ain't trying to be control freaks. So, that's just the thing about it. And for the most part, when you talk to women like Claudia Jordan, you get a headache, bro. You get a fucking headache talking to chicks and dealing with chicks like her. You know what I'm saying? What's the benefit of dealing with her when she got her own money and all that type of stuff, but it don't benefit you in no type of way? So hit the link in the description, join the Patreon. Peace.